Hello? Hello? Hi? Fucking hell. The game is so loud. I have no clue if this is working. Is it working? Hang on. I'm testing. I think it's on. Hello? I think it is working. Hello? Hi? Oh my lord. Game, it's just so fucking loud. Yeah, this is more like a test, to be honest. And also, I need something to do, lest I go fucking insane. Hang on. Actually, let me... Just gonna do some... little bit of a... Hang on. Okay, I think I'm sorted. I think this is a good kind of like volume and stuff. So yeah, hello. It's been fucking hell, how many months since I last streamed? Like 6 months according to my shit. 6 months, 7 months ago. I didn't realize I have my I have my VTube model still, so this was a surprise as well for me. Yeah. I'm gonna try and use the VTube model as much as I could because I did buy I'm not gonna lie, I did buy the Pro Animes, so at least the little watermark is not like flying around the screen. Also there's gonna be a lot of reading, a lot of reading, which I think I'm happy about because I kind of wanna practice or like how I sound. I mean, I sound better now. I like how I sound now, but let's see how much I can keep up with sounding it. I did try the game yesterday. This game. I wouldn't even honestly call it a game, but it's a visual novel. So, and apparently it's really good. I mean, so far it has been a little bit cheesy, but it it definitely is like a fanfic of sort, which is, I kind of like it. I mean, everyone reads a fanfic, but at least this one has art and it's fully voiced, or some of it is voiced, and it's voiced by our Lord and Savior Dotavu. So why not, right? Okay, let's continue, I guess.
Oh, you didn't finish this one.
What? Do you mean empty save, bro? What?
Ooh, what are you up to? Me! Tell me this story next.
Hold on, hold on. Quick save doesn't what? Oh, come on. I did a quick save, it didn't work? Hello? Okay, I'm gonna skip that because I'm way far. I can't believe the thing didn't fucking... Huh? I'm actually mad. What the fuck? Quick save didn't save it? Bro, come on. I'm actually upset, these spaghetti. What? Come on. Skip it. Skip. I've done this before. Oh, that's fucking... I'm upsetty. Because I did at least 2 hours yesterday of this. And I'm so mad I didn't save it. Skip. Okay, I'm not far off then. That's good. I think I did this.
Whew. Glad that guard chased me in this trap.
Yeah, I did this. I did this as well. I think I did this as well. Yes, I did this. Okay, I'm gonna... Okay, wait. That's fucking bullshit, right? That's actually ass. Hang on. Oh my god, I thought I lost everything then. Fuck. Okay.
It's still here.
Quick save.
Maybe it's not a trick.
Okay, I think this is where I left it off yesterday. I think. Oh my god, my big head's in the way. Sorry, give me a sec. That's fucking big. Hello? Oh my god, how big is my head? Jesus. Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay, this is where I'm gonna start reading. Just for the lulz. Okay. See, this is what I say. I can't fucking read. This is how I need to practice it, right? This is how I'm gonna practice. I let myself believe only to be wrong in the end, and when it be hurt more. Blah, blah. Oh no, wait, no, but a lot of years feels better right way too. Okay. Makes more sense. Even if I tried to stay, I don't think I'd ever stop. This way, I'll know for sure that I'm in charge of my own destiny. Now that I know this room is unoccupied, I might be able to sneak back in sometimes when I need this place to stay. It wouldn't be too hard to climb one of the trees and then get to the window from there. Take one last look around for a night. What a nice wife. Okay, cool. It's not a nice day, same as when I first arrived in Wellington. Warm sun and blue skies. Just a hint of clouds. For a while I meander around town, eating the last of my pastries from a convenience store haul for breakfast. Today feels like another restart. I have no den, no supplies, no anything. It's less exciting now than it was when I first arrived. I don't have a destination in mind, but eventually end up at the waterfront. There's an airship over the bay descending closer towards the skyport. A couple of kids down on the beach wave up at it, seeming excited. The people arriving on that ship all have somewhere that they're planning to go when they get off, huh? They all got people waiting to see them. What have I got? Some trash and an old scroll. So far, Wellington's given me nothing but questions. It never bothered me before in any of the other cities I've been to. So why now? Yes, that's another question for the pile. Push myself over the railing and head back into town. Go through the motion of scouting for somewhere to rebuild my den, but my heart really isn't in it. What? I love how it's like the story tries to make it just a tad more emotional than it already is. I think in the earlier parts of the story, it tells you how Miho has this special superpower or special power where people that she meets on the day will forget about her the next, so nobody actually remembers her. That's one of her abilities. And every time that she says something that goes back into what do I have, people don't even remember me. It's like it's in a way it's very subtle if you don't pay attention to that kind of like detail on that story, but I think like a lot of people would have anyway. It just gives it a little bit more oomph to it, which every time she mentions that I get really I feel for her. But anyway. There are more customers than usual. So there are two people working behind the counter. It only takes a brief glance to notice that one of them is Aspen. I wonder if she'll think that I'd like a fairy kiss chiller again. Or maybe I'll make a different sort of a first impression today. The line moves pretty quickly. Helps that Aspen doesn't spill anything this time. When it's my turn to order, I step up to their counter with a fake smile.
Oh, hello. What can I make for you today? I'll have a fairy kiss chiller, please. Certainly. Good choice.
I reach for my wallet to pay, but she stops me.
Oh, don't worry about that. It's on the house today. Great! What does that mean? It means that you don't have to pay for it. As an apology for yesterday.
See what I mean? See what I mean? She remembers her somehow. Yesterday? Why does this sound so strange? I nearly miss her talking, my mind having tripped over the word. She reaches for the cup, the pen already in hand.
And that's for Miho, right? For Miho?
Namaiwa? She remembers my name? My heart begins to race wildly, my body reacting just as strongly as my mind. Aspen frowns, clearly noticing that something's off. My head's in too much of a daze to deal with it though.
It is Miho, right?
Checks the notebook on the counter, brow furrowing deeply as her fingers slowly moves down to the page and taps on one of the lines. What do I say? How do I explain? That for the first time in my life, for the first time in hundreds of years, somebody remembered my name. God damn it. It's not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be forgotten. Every time, without fail. It's my armor. It's my life. Take a step backwards. Run. Get out of here. Get away. Where to? Just been running. And I don't have anywhere else to run to. But I don't have any other choice. Without a plan or a destination, I turn on my heel and bolt outside, not daring to look back. Everything is wrong. I have to go.
Miho!
She calls my name again as I disappear into the street. It's not the first time I've heard the as I felt. Fled. But never like this. Never with such a confused and worried tone. Feeling sick to my stomach, pushed myself to run even faster. Maybe I should just leave this whole city. Get on the next airship out. Act like it never happened. Could go somewhere else, back to China or America or anywhere, and just start over again. Then days would be like I've never even come to Wellington. My life would go back to normal, and eventually I'm sure Aspen and Juliet would forget me, just like they're supposed to. Nothing would be different. Except that's not quite true. I wouldn't forget what happened here, even if everyone else did. It's so angsty. No matter what, I'm sure I won't ever be able to get these past 3 days out of my mind. When I get to Mount Victoria, I finally stop running. Because this place is special or because I wanted to come here, but because I don't know where else to go. Make my way up to the top of the mountain just like I did my first day. The view, which I admired so much last time, doesn't do much for me now. Instead, the city looks cluttered and confused from up here. My chest hurts from running for so long. Much more used to quick bursts of sprinting to get away from something or someone. Guess that's what I'm still trying to do right now. I'm not too sure what it is that I'm running from. Whenever something goes wrong, my first instinct is to flee. Aspen remembering me definitely counts as something wrong. But when I stop to think about why, some of the reasons are obvious. Mostly, what if it's not just Aspen? What if everybody can remember me now? Or even worse, what if people forgot about me a long time ago, start to remember me? Both could get me in a lot of trouble. My days as a thief would probably be over. There's some places where I could never show my face again. Smart thing to do is to leave. I can even see a couple of airships at Skyport right now. Everything with me, just go. There's nothing keeping me here. And yet, I don't move. I still don't even know what it is that I'd be running away from. From Aspen? From Wellington? When I think about it, I have to admit that running wouldn't get me anywhere. This worry, these questions, will follow me wherever I go. No matter how far, no matter how long. So then what do I do? The only answer I can think of is the scariest one. The one that goes against everything I've ever learned. Closing my eyes, picture the library and Juliet's offer. Picture Aspen, whom I barely know, but who's already changed my life. Maybe I should stay, trying to find out more. Maybe, just maybe, being remembered might not be all bad. I clench my fist so tightly my knuckles turn white. The urge to turn tail and head for the Skyport is so strong, almost like a magnet pulling me there. I resist though. Slowly, I walk back down the mountain, making my way to the library. I'm not sure what to say when I get there. Explain everything to Juliet and hope she'll let me stay in that room again? I don't even need a room. I'll rebuild my den and hide out here. Maybe in a new spot? One that Juliet doesn't know about. Nothing to worry about the weather or other animals would be nice though. There's no telling if Juliet will remember No telling if Juliet will remember me too. If not, it might be easier to pretend this is my first time visiting and just ask if there's anywhere I could stay. Even though I'm not moving very fast, I still don't feel ready for the conversation by the time I reach the library entrance. It's only been an hour or so since I left the Bell House. Not late enough for the library to be closed. The usual stream of people flows in and out of the doors.
Okay, I can do this.
Stand off to the side of the entrance, preparing myself as people pass to and fro. My heart is racing, same way it does during a tense break-in. Maybe even harder. My tail twitches back and forth. Usually I don't know this, but right now I'm super aware of everything about myself. Fighting off my instincts, I open the door and let myself inside. I've been expecting to have to look for Juliet, but instead, she's right by the entrance. What surprises me most, however, is the woman leaning against a large desk beside her, Aspen, who's now engaged in conversation with a look of deep concern on her face.
I wasn't there when I checked the bedroom. I wish she would have spoken to me first, at least.
Barely catch the end of Juliet's sentence. She notices me only moments after I spot her. For a second, her mouth forms a perfect O of surprise.
Juliet? What are you...
Aspen turns around to follow Juliet's gaze, her eyes opening wide at the sight of me.
Miho!
My brain goes blank, rehearsed lines flying out of my head. Ah!
Hey there.
Slink over to where they're standing, hands in my pockets, unsure of what I should say first.
It's nice to see you again, Miho. I was hoping that you'd return.
Me too. That was pretty sudden. I worked extra hard on that drink for you, you know.
I'm so gay. I freeze up, looking for the words. Aspen's expression softens in concern.
Miho? Alright, the drink. I'm sorry. Well, I ended up drinking it myself, so I suppose I can't complain too much.
She laughs. I can't stop myself from blurting out my next words. Give me a sec. I'm super giddy right now. It's crazy. Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm having a freak out right now. Okay. I'm ready again. Oh, so gay.
You seem different. I'm sorry? Like, less polite? Well, I'm not at work anymore, am I?
What am I even saying? What was I planning on saying again?
Will you be staying for a while, Miho? If so, we can continue this conversation in the dining room. It's a bit more private there.
Julia takes charge of the conversation effortlessly, and I accidentally sigh in relief. I'm so gay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. That sounds great. I'm not gonna run away again.
I'm glad to hear that. Right this way, then.
Okay, do I need to calibrate again? I think I need to calibrate, don't I? Or am I okay? Okay, I think I'm fine. Wait, cool. Juliet leads the way down the hall into one of the locked rooms. We enter a cozy little room with a table and a few chairs, as well as a fridge. The three of us sit down, although I move my chairs so I'm not so close to the others.
Can I get you anything to eat or drink, Miho?
Shake my head. I'm hungry. I'm way too nervous to eat. Juliet just smiles in response to my answer, which came just a little too quickly to sound natural. But the way both she and Aspen are looking at me, I can tell they're expecting me to say something first. None of the words that I plan are coming back to me. What do people even say in these situations? Temptation to run away is overwhelming. The door is just a few feet behind me. My knuckles whiten as I tightly clench my fists in my lap, pushing myself to resist the urge. I told myself that I'm going to take this chance, even if it's the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm going to be honest with them.
Well...
I struggle to think of what to say. Julia waits patiently, her eyes gazing fully in my direction more than directly at mine. Aspen soon grows restless, however, her expression clouded with concern.
Sorry. I don't know how to just say things. I've only ever copied other people's, so
Aspen's expression clears up in some sort of understanding. Okay, let me recalibrate my shit. Bum 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 bum. Okay, cool.
It's okay, Miho. Take your time. So I don't really know how to talk like this.
You're doing just fine.
God damn it.
If you say so. It's not just talking either. I don't know much about anything. Well, anything human. All I really know about is being a fox. And all we foxes care about is how to survive. It might be hard to believe, but I'm not a normal fox either. There's something kinda special about me. Kinda different.
I fingered the beads around my neck. This sounds like a weird sentence to say, sorry. Constant warmth and presence is reassuring. I avoid looking at either Aspen's or Juliet's face. What else?
Usually, I have to steal to get by. I don't just have to, I like to. I'm good at it too. That's how I ended up meeting Juliet. And the reason I'm so good at it is because I don't know why it happens, but ever since I got my human form, everyone forgets me. Even the people who catch me stealing from them. After a day or two, I can walk right past their face and they wouldn't even recognize me. No one has ever recognized me. Until Aspen remembered who I was at the Bell House. It was such a shock that I ran away. That's what I always do. I was thinking about leaving Wellington forever, even though I just arrived a couple days ago. I'm still kind of tempted. But instead, I came back here. And that's it.
Just hearing the words coming out of my mouth makes me want to die of embarrassment. Makes me uncomfortable when other people think about me. And yet, putting everything out there feels surprisingly good. Feels like weight has come off my shoulders. There's no going back now. And that's a relief in its own way.
So you're saying that you've never ever had a family? Or a friend?
Nope, never. And not since I stopped being a regular fox, at least.
Oh. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Why?
Well, because that's... not to be rude, but that sounds rather lonely to me.
Lonely, huh? I've never thought about it before.
I see.
Oh, excuse me, fucking hell, my emotions just tried to go back up. Aspen sits back, still looking concerned. From the way she keeps fidgeting, I get the impression she wants to say more, but is holding back. Juliet swoops in to salvage the situation.
You have been very brave to stay here, Miho. I'm personally glad that you decided to come back to the library. I had your room prepared in hopes that you would. You're welcome to use it for as long as you'd like. I think that we could become great friends.
Friends.
I roll the word around my mind as if it were a strange fruit I'm gingerly trying. Is that a word that fits me? Is that something I could have? It's never seemed like a possibility before. None of what Juliet's offered me has. Right now, it feels like I'm standing at the end of one path and the beginning of another. To turn around and go back the way I came, back to the den and a life spent alone. I know that world. I lived in it for so many years. I can't just go back. Not now. Not when there can be something more. Something new. Everything can be different if I just let it. When I look at Aspen and Juliet, I can tell they're hoping I'll say it.
I think I'd like that.
Oh my god, this fucking shot is so cute. Ah, fuck. God damn it. Wait, let me. What's my, excuse me. Squeeze me. Oh my god, this fucking making me feel things, man. Oh shit. Man, why are these things so fucking soft, bro? Slowly, I let myself smile too.
Well then, Miho.
Hello. Yes, it's very pretty.
Welcome home.
God damn it! Oh! Kinikilig ako, puta. God damn it. Ah, man. Ah, man. This game is making me, feel things, bro. Oh. Oh my god, just fucking kiss, gas. Chapter 2, let's go. A life worth living. For the second day in a row, I wake up in a soft bed. My bed. It's early. The library downstairs is silent. No one else is here aside from Juliet. I didn't even transform from before falling asleep last night. Just passed out like this, with human arms and legs. No wonder I'm sore. Girl? After I agreed to Juliet's offer, the rest of the day passed by quickly. Aspen and Juliet showed me around the house part of the library, and Juliet made dinner for the three of us. Aspen didn't leave until the evening, and I decided to go to bed early. After the whirlwind of emotions I went through yesterday, I was exhausted and fell asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. Not having to be on alert in the moment, I opened my eyes as a nice change. And toss and turn, even those a little bit longer. She's so cute! I get as much rest as my body will let me. Once I've had my fill of being lazy, I finally crawl out of bed.
Okay, time to get up.
Doesn't take me long to get ready. I tiptoe to the door out of habit, so carefully that only someone with super keen hearing would be able to hear me. But then I remember.
Oh yeah, I don't need to sneak around while I'm here.
Less. I loosen up and step out in the hallway, shutting the door behind me. Being so openly noisy is almost harder than being sneaky. The building is still quiet. Juliet told me to come find her when I wake up, so I make my way down the hallway towards the room she showed me yesterday. It's one of the last hall tucked away in the corner. Unlike the other doors, a tiny bit of flickering light escapes from the gap below.
This is the place.
Now that I'm standing here, my nerves start to get better of me. What if she's forgotten me this time and chases me away? Or what if... I screw my eyes shut and take a deep breath, forcing away my worries. If I'm going to stay here for a while, I need to stop thinking like that. Can't let that fear keep getting the better of me. Forcing myself on, I twist the doorknob and enter. Wait, I should have knocked, shouldn't I? She's so cute. She's super cute. Hang on, I just need to sort through things. There we go. Aha. Nice. Okay. It's too late now as I step in the room, only to be struck by how dark it is. With no windows, the only light is a dim lamp, illuminating the white-clothed figure sitting at her desk. Just like the library downstairs, there are rows and rows of books covering the shelves around the room. Juliet looks up to greet me, a gentle smile written on her face.
Oh, good morning, Miho. Did you sleep well?
She remembered me. I had my relief well, I think.
I sure did. I think that might have been the best sleep I ever had.
I'm most glad to hear it.
Hope
Would you
they
like to
kiss.
sit down?
Oh, sure. Thanks.
There's only one other seat. I awkwardly sit down across from her. It feels like a bit like an interrogation.
Would you like some tea?
I've never had tea, so I don't know if I like it or not. I feel like I should accept her offer out of politeness though.
Sure.
Julia pulls out a teacup from the shelf nearby and sets it on a little plate. Then she carefully pours in the tea without spilling a single drop. She pushes the plate with one cup over to me.
Sugar.
I've eaten enough human snacks to know that I like sugar. Bless her. She's so cute.
Yes, please.
She's so cute! Oh, look at her little fangy! Sorry. She takes the lid off a small pot and offers it to me. It's full of little white cubes. Without hesitating, I take two and toss them in my mouth. They're kind of crunchy at first, but quickly fall apart. What a legend. She frowns a little. Enough that a human probably wouldn't notice. Did I do something wrong? Wait, I know.
Oh, thank you.
That gets her to smile, so I'm pretty sure I did the right thing. She sets the pot of treats back down under her desk. Oh my god, she's so cute!
We'll have breakfast in a little while. Aspen usually comes by to help open the library, and then we eat together.
Sus.
That sounds nice. Does she help out because of the sunlight?
My, that's astute of you. You're correct. Although I'm able to tolerate a bit of sun, I do prefer the dark. I wasn't sure if you knew I was a vampire.
I fucking knew it, bro.
I figured it out just now. That explains how you were able to hear me and find my den, huh?
Indeed. said, I have my dear friend Orpheus to thank for helping me know where to find you.
Something scratches in the corner of the room, and I look up to notice a large bat dangling from a hook on one of the shelves. Has that been there the entire time?
Is he also...
No, Orpheus is a bat through and through, not a vampire. He happened to notice you on his way home one day.
So that's the friend you were talking about. I was wondering about that.
I have the pleasure of knowing several of Wellington's loco bats. They keep me apprised of news from around the city.
You're not, like... you know...
Tap one of my front teeth. Not sure how to ask the question politely.
Oh, heavens no! I consume as little blood as one of my kind can, and what I do partake of is freely donated. I love this city, and its people. I'd never had them like that. Besides, I had quite enough of that during my time in the underworld. Is that where you come from as well?
Oh, I'm not from the underworld. I'm from Korea. I've heard lots about it, though. I'm one of the only fabled I know of who doesn't come from there. For a long time, I didn't even know that other fabled existed.
Indeed. Gumio like yourself are some of the few I know of.
Wait, Gumiho? Is that what I'm called? That explains a lot.
You didn't know, but you go by the name Miho.
Just because I like the sound, I thought it was more like a nickname.
She's so fucking precious. Ah! Oh!
I change it up wherever I go. Gumi, Homie, Migu. I've never had a real name. I didn't even know I had a kind. I've never met someone else like me. I wonder if we'd have much in common.
Have other foxes, well, Gumiho, living the same kind of life I have? Maybe they're better at fitting in with people than I am, and that's why I've never seen one. Interesting.
Are there any other Gumio in Wellington?
None that I know of. It's possible, though.
I'm not sure what I'd say if I did meet one.
I'd wonder about others like me before. Since I've never met one, I eventually assume they don't exist. Finding out that they do and there's even a name for us comes as a pretty big surprise. No matter how long I've been alive, there's still so much that I didn't know about the world. As our discussion tapers off, the sound of the front door reaches my ears from downstairs. Juliet must have heard it too, looking over as I do.
Oh, that'll be Aspen. Shall we go down to breakfast?
I'll never say no to that.
Juliet takes her feet, picking up the lamp and carrying it with her. Orpheus the bat leaves the study when we do, though he flies off in a different direction. Guess he won't be joining us for the meal. I have to be careful not to spill my cup of tea as we walk down the stairs. Aspen waits at the bottom, a large book tucked under her arm. She waves with her free hand to greet us.
Good morning, Aspen. It's nice to see you again.
Good morning, Juliet. And you too, Miho. I must admit, I was a little worried you might run off during the night.
I may have thought about it a little. After I went to bed, though, I was out like a light.
Glad you decided otherwise, then. Living in the library sounds like heaven. I can't believe you'd think about giving that up. Anyway, I'm opening today, so I can't stay too late. I'll go ahead and take care of the windows.
I'll get started on breakfast then. Would you like grape or strawberry jam?
I think I'm feeling like strawberry today. Oh, or some of that orange marmalade if there's any left.
I feel like they're more of a domestic couple. Like, honestly. Anyway.
You have to let Miho try that too.
I'll see if we have it. Is that a nonce you have with you? You can just leave him on the desk for now.
It sure is. I'll be taking Jax on the way out.
I'll write it down.
Two of them stroll off in different directions while I stand on the stairs, unable to follow any of the conversation.
Who's Jax? Anonsei? I don't see anyone with you.
This is a nonce.
She taps the cover of the book she brought with her. Cute.
He's the author of this. Juliet suggested I read some of his work, but I'm finding him rather dull.
Huh.
I try my best to sound interested, but I doubt it's successful. Maybe I'd see the appeal if I could read them. But how can they be better than doing things yourself? After setting the book down on the front desk, Aspen goes to the main room, leaving me alone in the hallway. I make my way down the rest of the steps. Looking down my teacup, I decided to take a tiny sip. I'm getting tired of carrying it around. Yuck. It's kind of bitter, but also bland at the same time. Frowning, I set a cup down on one of the shelves nearby. At least I tried it. The sugar was way better though. The door Aspen went through is still open, and I can hear her bustling around. The room where Juliet went isn't far away either, and I already smell food. Guess I'll go watch. God damn it! Oh god. Ah, shit. I mean, endeared by Aspen, not gonna lie. She's like a bit quirky. And I do feel like, I don't know, I feel like Miho likes Aspen a lot better. But what do I like? That's the question, right? If I'm putting myself in Miho's shoes, and I kind of like Aspen's quirkiness. Aspen is in the book room by now, and I wander through the door she left open. She steps from window to window, pushing them open and pulling the curtains back. At each one, another sunbeam pours in, and the room gets a little bit brighter.
Oh, hey Miho. How was your first night here?
Great! After you left, I went to bed early. And then I got to sleep in.
You sure do love to sleep. Color me even more jealous. I'm working opening shifts most of this week, so I have to be up early every day.
Or else, what?
Yoselfson gives me a frustratingly familiar look. The look that means I've said something weird.
Or else I get reprimanded for being late. Duh. Not to be rude, but, have you never had a job?
Nope. I haven't done most human things, if you can't tell.
Oh, I certainly can tell. Your life must be fascinating. Someday I'd like to hear about all you've seen and done.
I'm really not that interesting. My life is just wandering around for the most part. I try to avoid doing stuff as much as I can.
I know plenty of people who would kill for a lifestyle like that, you know.
After pushing open the last window, Aspen starts to drift around the room, moving chairs and furniture into their spots.
Anyway, I come here most mornings just to have breakfast and chat with Juliet, even if I'm not opening.
Oh shit.
Is there not any food where you live?
There usually is, but I enjoy the company as much as the food. Speaking of which, Juliet should be about done by now. Let's join her, shall we?
I follow behind Aspen as she walks on, adjusting and rotating a few more out-of-place items out of the way. By the time we reach the kitchen, there's a big pile of buttered toast and different spreads waiting for us on the table. As we walk up to her, Juliet's setting down a plate of sliced fruit and another fried eggs beside it.
You two are right on time. I was just about to call for you.
Okay, let me save. Morning routine. I swear to God, they should be like a domestic couple more than anything, man.
I have a sixth sense for it, apparently.
We all sit down and dig in. The food, of course, is delicious.
So, Miho, how will you be spending your first day as an official Wellington resident?
I don't know yet. Hadn't really thought about it. Now that you mention it, I'll have a lot more free time now, huh? Usually I'd go hunting for food, or looking for a better place to stay, or...
Instinctively, I go silent as I reach for my pocket and the familiar crumpling paper.
Or...
If it's something you don't want to share, don't feel that you must.
Right, that too.
I hesitate. I'm not sure I've ever told anyone about my goal, or at least not the specifics. I've had a lot of first times lately, though. What's one more? Besides, maybe the two of them can help.
No, it's okay. I've been looking for someone.
Wet my hands first, making sure that they don't have any crumbs or grease on them. Then I carefully slide the thin scroll out of my pocket. I always keep it in the deepest part where it won't get wet or damaged. With great care, I gently unroll it, letting the two women see the ink markings brushed onto the scroll. The edges are fuzzy with age by now. The text is still legible. I think, anyway.
They gave me this a long time ago. I don't know what it says.
Is that Korean? Maybe Chinese? I'm not able to read either one, unfortunately.
They remind me of older Chinese characters, but I can't be certain myself. Sorry, but I'm not too familiar with them either.
They look a little defeated, but I quickly wave off their concern.
It's okay. Nobody I've asked could read it either. For all I know, they might just be scribbles. I thought that maybe if I knew what it said, it would help me find them.
Or I'm eating my Easter egg.
Who exactly are they, if I may ask?
They're a traveler. I learned that word just to be able to describe them. They were the first human I ever met, and they told me stories about the rest of the world.
And you've been searching for them ever since then?
Yup. For as long as I can remember. I met them back in Korea, when I was a fox. I couldn't understand what they were saying. Not until much later.
Reminiscing about them gives me a very particular feeling. It's warm and fuzzy, also a little sad. I think people call it nostalgia. My voice is a little quieter as I finish what I mean to say.
But that never stopped them from coming to see me. I don't know their name or even where they're from, but I'll definitely recognize them when I see them again.
Both of the women before me are quiet for a moment, visibly thinking over what I've said. After a long time, it's Julia who speaks first.
In that case, I'd be happy to assist in any way I can.
Me too, of course. Speaking of which, I may have found something useful to you. I was doing a little bit of research on Gumiho last night. There was surprisingly little to be found compared to some of the other fabled.
Wait a sec. You found out that I'm a Gumio too?
Well, yes. It wasn't too difficult to look up. Is that odd?
In less than a day, both Aspen and Julie were able to find out something about myself I couldn't find in a lifetime.
I guess not.
I only realize how I sound after I've said it. Juliet shoots a look at Aspen, who quickly tries to move the discussion along.
Anyway, I was trying to find out why why Juliet and I can remember you when nobody else can. Although I didn't find anything about memories in particular, there was one story that claimed a Gumiho's curse doesn't take effect until a full day later.
Oh, okay.
Oh, of course. And since you and I both saw Miho again before too much time passed, we didn't forget her.
Right, that also makes sense from what you told us yesterday, Miho, doesn't it? You said you don't tend to talk to people a second time.
Yeah, I usually try to avoid it, really.
I hadn't ever thought of my magic as a curse before, but I guess to the person it's affecting, it is.
So that means that all we have to do to avoid forgetting about Miho is...
It's impossible to miss the pause before Aspen's words, like even if she's not confident in what she's about to say. Oh god.
see her every day. Forever.
Forever. That word hangs in the air. Aspen says it cheerfully, but I can recognize just how impossible that is. At some point, even these two will forget me, won't they? Why even try then? Why bother if I know it'll just hurt in the end? Oh god, fuck! On cue, those kinds of thoughts starts to swirl in my head like always. It's so tempting to just stop caring and give up on others. Now I won't let myself dwell on that. Now on my first day living here. Who knows, even if it's a long time from now, maybe these thoughts will go away for good. Johnny clears her throat before the silence goes on for too long.
Well, that's not bad at all. Preserving the memory of those you hold dear is one of the most important parts of life.
Aspen considers for a moment before nodding.
It really is.
Oh my goodness. It seems a little early for either of them to consider me dear to them. I keep that to myself.
So, anyway, about Jax.
For relief, Aspen changes the subject away from me and my magic. As Juliet and Aspen chat between themselves, the conversation drifts onto things I don't know about. And people and places I don't recognize. This all probably relates to books. I smile and laugh when they do, but I'm not really paying attention or talking. Listening to the two of them may as well be speaking a different language. The more I observe, the more it seems I'll have to learn. Not just about normal people in human life, but about myself as well, even the world. In one day, both Aspen and Julia were able to figure out what I am and how my beads work. I've had a long time to do that and still had no idea. Doesn't even seem like it was hard for them. There's something that I have to admit to myself. I haven't really tried before. Just what I have been missing out on. Feel something bubbling up inside me. Same feeling as yesterday when I decided to come back to the library instead of running away. Something that makes I clench my fist and take a deep breath as I make another decision. Something that I realize I can put a name to, even though it's a new one for me. What people call home. Even if it's pointless in the end.
I want to learn how to be a person.
Oh shit. Ooh. Juliet cuts off whatever she was saying mid-sentence. She and Aspen turns to face me, eyes wide. Oops. I guess I should have started by waiting for them to stop talking.
You want to... What?
I've already messed this up, but I keep going.
Be a person. To know about the things you two are talking about. All the stuff that you give me a weird look for when I don't know. I want to learn about it.
I'd say that you're already well on your way.
Her tone becomes quite serious as she continues. I'm a little glad. She sees as much weight behind this as I feel about it.
Miho, there are some things that you can't rush or change overnight. This is definitely one of them. That said, starting can be the hardest part. You've already taken the first steps.
What Juliet said, I'm sorry too. I didn't mean to keep you out of our conversation.
No, it's okay. I was busy thinking anyway. I can't stop looking for my person, of course, but maybe I can do more than that too.
We'll help you in any ways that we can.
Aspen nods in agreement, but then checks the time and sighs.
It'll have to wait until later though, because I need to be leaving for work. I'm sure Juliet needs
Me.
her rest too.
Thanks. I am rather tired. Will you be alright on your own for the day, Miho?
Yeah, I should be. I'll figure out something to do.
Ah, wonderful. Here, let me take those.
She gets up and collects the dirty plates, then she carries them to the sink.
Tomorrow I have to go in earlier than usual to open. If you come by, I can make you that drink again, Miho. As long as you promise not to run away, that is.
Sure, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere this time. Although, will it still be at home?
At home?
Like, free?
Oh, on the house! Yes, of course! This should probably be the last time, though, or my boss will start getting upset.
Aw, okay. It was nice while it lasted.
Aspen pauses as she rises from the table and starts to leave.
You know, getting a job might be a good idea if you're serious about living a normal life. It's hardly the most fun, but then you could buy as many fairy kiss chillers as you want.
A job? Sounds like a pain.
Aspen just sighs as I sink into my seat. The way she talks about having a job makes it sound awful.
Well, it's just a suggestion. See you later, Juliet. Miho.
With that, she takes her leave as Juliet waves her off. After a distant sound of Juliet shutting her bedroom door, the whole library is silent, leaving me alone with my thoughts in the kitchen. The front doors are unlocked and open to everyone, so it's just a matter of time until the first guests arrive.
Well, what do I do now?
The empty room doesn't have an answer right about now. I'd usually be scrounging about for breakfast and scoping out a new place, maybe even planning where I'll spend the night. But with a full belly and a bed to come back to, I don't have to worry about any of that. Instead, I have a lot of free time on my hands.
Guess I'll explore.
It's how I've been spending a lot of my time recently anyway. And while Juliet and Aspen seem so far, it's still a little tiring to be around people so much. Having some time alone is important too. Making my way into town, I try to pay more attention to what people are doing instead of searching for opportunities. I meant what I said about wanting to be more of a person, but small steps are easier for me. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's observing. Of course, I'll be keeping an eye out for anything that can help me find my person, but I have to admit that I don't have much of a plan for that. Usually when I go to a new country or city, I'll try to find someone who might know them, or who recognizes my scrawl. I usually prefer asking other fabled, but easier to deal with than humans. It's not a very efficient plan, if I'm being honest. I have to get really lucky for it to work. I haven't come up with any better ideas, and I do have plenty of time to try. Now that Aspen and Juliet have offered to help, maybe they'll be able to think of something new. For now, I'm just killing time. At first, it's not so bad. I take my time passing through the city and even pop into some stores along the way. One is full of musical instruments, while right next door is a store selling kitchen utensils. Across the street, there's another place with racks full of clothes. I step into each store and pace around the aisles just browsing. Usually, I'd never come to these kind of shops, even though they have some expensive stuff, it's all bulky and hard to carry. Plus, I've learned the hard way that some pawn shops and buyers are good at guessing when something is stolen. Now that I'm paying more attention to what's for sale, I realize that I don't even know what a lot of this stuff does. In the kitchen store, there's normal pots and pans and dishes, which makes sense. But there's also a bunch of different gadgets with all kinds of shapes and sizes. Can't even guess what you use them for. At the music store, I recognize a few instruments like guitars and pianos and drums. There are also a bunch that I've seen before, but don't know the names of. Mostly the kinds you play with your mouth. Then there are some that I've never seen and can't even be sure are actually instruments and not some other kind of device. I seem to be the only one having this problem. In both stores, the other customers I've seen walk around like they know what they're doing, or at least are looking for something in particular. I try to listen in on conversation that someone is having with a salesperson, but it's like just listening to Aspen and Juliet talk. I don't recognize half of the words. In the end, I didn't spend long in either store.
This is already harder than I thought.
Nearby, there's a clock outside one of the outside stores, and it informs me that it's only been an hour or so since I left the library. There's still a long time before Juliet will be up, so I'll keep looking around. Although I'm not expecting much, I continue to browse through most of the shop I pass, just for something to do. I think about going by the Bell House and saying hello to Aspen, but when I get there, there's a line out the door and around the building. Peeking through the window, I don't even see her. Instead, someone else is taking orders at the counter. I don't feel like waiting, so I keep walking instead. I end up walking for as long as I can stand it. Past the Skyport and beach, past Mount Victoria, back towards the town yet again. When it eventually gets too boring even for me, I head back to the library. Much busier now than when I left it. There's a pile of books on the desk that people have brought back and checked out. Checkout sheet is almost half full. Some of the chairs are occupied and at least a dozen people are browsing the shelves. None of them pay me any mind, even when I grab a snack from the kitchen, then head up to my room. In there, I do the only thing that there is to do. Flop onto my bed and look up at the ceiling. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to have a bed to do that in. It doesn't help much right now.
So I can be bored outside or bored inside.
What a mood. In my normal life, I'm usually too busy to be bored. Having time to rest and relax can be a luxury. Now that I've got more time that I know what to do with, I hadn't realized this will be a problem.
Guess all I can do is wait for Juliet.
Hopefully, she'll have some ideas. I get the feeling she could give advice on anything.
May as well get comfy.
Yawning, I get under the covers and then transform into a fox. With a soft pillow under my head and the cozy blanket above me, it's a lot like being in a very comfortable den. And after all that walking I did, a nap that's so pretty nice. If I'm lucky, I won't wake up until Juliet does. Wrapping my tail around my face, I close my eyes and eventually drift off to sleep. It's almost dark. Blah! Okay, hydration check, Lamau. Oh, someone's reading. Ah, mama. Oh. If anyone's here, hello. Thanks for dropping by. Oh, Callie just tweeted something. Let me just check that because I am. It's a Tutu voice. Oh, Tutu. Oh, cat purrs. Like a machine. God dang, Tutu. Oh, the birds are crazy. Oh. We like Tutu in this house. Okay. Let me save before I die. Okay, cool.
That nap worked better than I expected.
Hopefully Juliet will be awake by now. If she isn't, I don't know what I'll do. There's no way I'm falling back asleep anytime soon. Unlike this morning when I passed by Juliet's office, there's no light from under the door. I do catch the sound of something going on in the kitchen, so I make my way downstairs. In the kitchen, I'm treated to quite a sight.
Good evening, Miho. I'll be with you in just a moment.
Oh, it's not just Juliet in the kitchen, but 3 bats as well. One clings to the back of the chair. Aspen sat this morning, and another is on top of the fridge. The third one perched on Juliet's shoulder, and I think it's the same one that was in her office this morning. Juliet's holding a small bag and handing out the contents of different bats. On closer inspection, I realize that they're bugs. All the bats devour them greedily, including the one nibbling on by Juliet's ear. She doesn't seem to be bothered and hands them each another treat.
All right, here are the last ones.
The bats on the chair and the fridge finish their snacks and fly over my head out of the kitchen. Their wings nearly clip me in the face, and the gust they create blows my hair around. The last bat stays on Juliet's shoulders, and even after it's finished eating, and then Juliet picks up a small envelope from the counter and ties it to one of the bat's legs.
Thank you, Orpheus. We'll see you soon.
Launching itself off of Juliet's shoulders, Orpheus takes flight and exits through one of the library windows. Even though he was much bigger than the other bats, it doesn't look like Juliet was faced by being used as a lunch bat.
My apologies, Miho. You caught me just at dinner time for the bats.
It's okay. I just woke up.
Oh? I take it you had a busy day then.
Well, not really. Just walked around for a while and then took a nap because didn't know what else to do.
I see. I'm sorry to have left you on your own all day. I should have made sure you were taken care of before I went to sleep.
She sure does apologize a lot. Is that what it means to be polite? It makes me kind of uncomfortable. It's not like she did anything wrong.
What are some of your hobbies? There are all manner of things tucked away in this room. All that throughout the library.
Hobbies? I don't think I know that word.
Something you do for fun, just because you enjoy it.
Oh! I don't really have anything like that.
Although she raises her eyebrows, Juliet nods. I'm guessing that wasn't an answer she was expecting.
I think I understand. Well, perhaps that should be our first order of business. I believe you'd find your life much enriched with something amusing to do.
Okay. Like what?
She ponders for a moment, tapping the countertop beside her.
It could be anything. A sport, an art, or even something like watching television. Whatever brings you joy.
Pretty sure I've never tried any of those.
Then, it seems we have plenty of options to start with. I know you've done a lot of walking today already, but I need to go into town to run some errands. Would you be interested in accompanying me? Maybe we'll see something along the way that strikes your fancy.
Sure. Fine by me. Not like I've got anything better to do.
With a smile, Juliet gathers up some papers and envelopes from the table and tucks them under her arm.
Let's be off then.
Oh my god, cute! Leaving the library unlocked, we set off to the familiar path. Juliet maintains a brisk pace but isn't too fast. I like this a lot more than going slow.
So, Miho, how are you enjoying Wellington itself so far?
I like it. It's not too big and it's not too small. Like that there's the ocean and mountains close by.
Yes, we're truly fortunate to live in such a paradise.
how'd you end up here in the first place? You said you came from the underworld, right?
That's correct. Ugh, I was much wilder and irresponsible in those days. But then, I met someone who changed my life. Someone who made me want to be a better person. Part of that meant reinventing myself, with a new life in a new place. Rather like what you've been doing too.
Huh. I can't picture you being crazy like you said.
That's something of a relief, but it was certainly true at the time. Sometimes, it does feel as if I was an entirely different person back then. It can be difficult to reconcile who we were with who we are, or want to be.
Doesn't seem like you had too much trouble with it.
I wouldn't say that. For one, this was very long ago. And even now, I continue to change. Everyone does. Perhaps in a few hundred years, I'll look back on these days, and they'll also seem like someone else's life.
Maybe.
Not that I think about Juliet. Oh, blah, blah. Not that I think Juliet is lying, but it seems to me like she's just being modest. I may not have known her for long, but if anything, she seems a little too perfect. It isn't too late in the evening yet, so there are plenty of other people out and about too. Occasionally, someone will recognize and greet Juliet, and she always gives them a friendly greeting in return. After walking in silence for a couple minutes, I clear my throat.
I've got a question.
What is it?
Do you always walk places?
As opposed to?
Flying. Can't you turn into a bat?
Oh, yes. I suppose I can. I do so only sparingly, though. I find that I appreciate life more as a human than as a bat.
Why? That's weird. Like being a fox a lot more. Being a human just feels clumsy. Your arms and legs are way too long and get in the way all the time.
I suppose that's true. It can be quite awkward at times. Or...
Yeah, exactly! I've never been embarrassed as a fox.
I understand. There are certainly downsides. I believe the good makes up for the bad, though. Some things are only possible as a human, or fabled.
Like what? I can't think of any, other than talking like this.
Like writing, for one thing, as our dear friend Aspen would surely mention. Or perhaps like dancing. Have you ever danced, Miho?
Nope, never. I don't get why people do it either. Don't tell me you like dancing. Is that your hobby?
I must confess that I do enjoy it. At times, that is. I wouldn't call it a hobby. But with the right person, at the right moment, it can be quite nice.
Oh my god.
If you say so.
Okay, okay. Find myself saying that a lot lately. Shaking and flopping your body around to music? It's not for me. I don't even know how to come up with this stuff. Okay, I think I need to recalibrate again. I look like weird. Okay, nice. But I'm trying to remember to be polite, so I keep that part to myself.
So, on that note, I should have asked this earlier. Are there any hobbies that you have as a fox?
I never thought about it that way. But now that you mention it... Almost everything is better as a fox. The sun feels nicer on my fur than it does on my skin. Flowers smell better and more interesting when I sniff them. It's more... vivid.
I remember Aspen using that word and explaining what it means. But she'd be proud if she heard me use it. Aw, cute.
You do make it sound lovely. But are those things you do for fun?
Well,
I almost say yes right away. Then I think about it for a second. I do love those things I mentioned, but maybe they don't fit what Juliet is asking.
I guess not. They feel good, but they're not fun.
That's still valuable too.
So far, we've been following the same path I took earlier when I went to town. But when we come across a crossroads, Juliet turns in the direction of a neighborhood instead of a city.
The first stop I need to make is down here. After that, we'll go look around and see if there's anything fun.
Alright, I'm just following you.
This isn't the same neighborhood where I hid from Juliet a couple of nights ago. Although it's pretty similar. Some of these houses are the sort that reminded me of Bugs when I first arrived in Wellington. We stop at one of them, a little one-story house with a porch light on. Follow Juliet to the front door, she rings the doorbell.
Is this for one of your errands?
Yes, we're delivering those papers that were requested.
Straighten out 2 yellow packets she was carrying. The door opens and a young woman carrying a baby stands behind it.
Oh, Miss Juliet! So good to see you!
With one of her trademark smiles, Juliet hands over the papers and the two chat for a bit. I lean against the wall, not involved or anything. Not involved or listening. When talking to the lady, Juliet uses the same warm tone and softness as when she was talking to me in Aspen. In fact, if I closed my eyes, I could almost pretend that I'm back at the breakfast table with both of them, listening to them go on about Bugs. Eventually, the woman takes the folder, and after saying goodbye several times, we leave. As soon as we're off our property, I turn to Juliet.
What was that all about?
I suppose you could call it another one of my hobbies. Sometimes, patrons have requests for information on their ancestors, or a piece of history that they'd like to learn about. For example, Mrs. Aliyu wanted to know about her husband's culture so she could teach her new child. I find and collect what's requested, and bring it to those who asked.
Whoa! Sounds like a lot of work.
It can be, but I don't mind it. The past is worth preserving, but not everyone knows how. It's my honor to help people do so. I have assistants too, such as dear Orpheus, who is delivering a letter on the far side of town for me.
Are all the bats your helpers?
Some more than others. They're friends, not pets. And so if they don't feel like helping, then I won't force them.
To me, it sounds like a lot of trouble to go through for someone else, even with bats helping out. But Juliet apparently likes being inconvenienced. It's the same as letting me stay in her library. Still, that sounds like it could be really helpful in my own search for the traveler. As Juliet leads down to our next destination, we leave the residential area and go back towards the city. I try to keep my eyes peeled for anything interesting. There are plenty of people sitting out the tables having a meal or walking around in shops. Nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, it's not much different from when I was here earlier. There are more fabled and fewer humans, but there are still plenty of those too. Some of the places I passed by are closed now. Some, like a music store, are still open. When we come to a big building with a lot of posters on the walls outside. We stop.
This is one of our movie theaters. They show all the most popular films, as well as independent ones from local creators. Have you ever been to see a movie before?
Not in a place like this. I know what movies are, but I don't think I've ever watched one.
Bless you, you're so cute.
You should try it sometime. Maybe you'll find you like them. Movies can make you feel all kinds of different things. Happy, sad, scared, or just amused. Some are good for making you think, and some are good because you don't have to think about anything and can just relax.
Why would I want to watch something that makes me sad or scares me?
For some, it's fun to explore different emotions in a safe environment like that. When we see something that makes us feel strongly, it can stick with you. Perhaps cause you to view things in a different light. And if it ever becomes too much, you can simply stop watching or put on something else.
I'll try it sometime. Although, I don't know about the sad or scary ones.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has different preferences.
Along the way, Julia continues to point out different shops and locations that she thinks I should know about, like another library or a museum. Not very interested in either of those, but I smile and nod, pretend like I am. Good God. After a while, we leave the city behind and reach the waterfront just like I usually do. The ocean looks so much different at night, with the starlight and moonlight reflecting off the water. Far out at sea, there are a few lights that must come from boats, and sometimes lights in the sky from passing airships. We head down a small path to the boardwalk where we look out into the water. There are a few empty buckets sitting on the ground nearby, as well as folding chairs, and I point them out.
What are those for?
People like to fish off at this pier. They come at all hours, but I believe this spot is used for teaching lessons during the day.
Ooh, lessons on how to catch fish?
That's correct. Is that something you're interested in?
Maybe. It's one of those things that I like doing as a fox, but I don't know if I'd like doing it the human way.
Should you decide you'd like to try, I'm sure there would be someone here who's happy to instruct you.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't want to commit to anything, but it can hurt to come and check this place out during the day. Yes.
I'm glad you found something that struck your fancy. Is there anywhere else you'd like to visit while we're out? Or should we return home?
Nah, I'm ready to head back. Is there anything for dinner?
I'm sure we can put something together.
Then let's go.
As I actually know where we are now, I lead the way home, with Julia close behind me. Cute! Okay, I think... Not gonna lie, I'm getting a little bit, drowsy, so... Might end it here. But I think this is a good test stream. At least I know that things are kind of okay when I stream with the model and with Valorant and all that. I think I'll try to stream a lot more, because yeah, and maybe improve on the model if I could. So thank you for sticking around, and hope to see you guys again. And yeah, see you guys soon. Goodbye.